Day 15 of my breast cancer diagnosis. Let's get into it. So, tomorrow I have scheduled a 3-hour scan. I have to do a complete total body bone scan and I have to do a CAT scan. And I am claustrophobic. So, I am beyond nervous at this point. And it is at 8:30 in the morning and I have to be there for 3 hours. And it's not close to me. It's in Arlington, which is like an hour away. And we just came off of this snowstorm, so there's still like snow and ice everywhere. One thing you guys probably don't know about me is that I actually have a diagnosed generalized anxiety disorder. So when I get really anxious, I can completely shut down. And yesterday, I was beginning to feel myself shut down just because the odds just seemed completely stacked against me, Like, one, I can't remember the last time I woke up at early in the morning. Like, I wake up around 8 or 9 in the morning. So, waking up early to drive in the darkness on snow and ice and sleet and rain and everything to get there, it was a lot. It was overwhelming me. So, I was like, "Okay, Uma, you can't change this. You need to do this." I mean, I could have called and rescheduled, but when you have breast cancer, you don't really want to reschedule tests. You want to get everything done as quickly as possible so your doctor has all the information so he can know what decision to make concerning your surgery and your treatment plan, right? So, yeah, rescheduling was not an option. But I said, you know what I could do is I can try to eliminate some of my anxiety. So, one, I started to research what a CAT scan was, what a bone scan was. I watched some videos on YouTube to kind of like figure out what the process is like. The CAT scan, I'm pretty okay with because it's literally only like 5 minutes you're actually in the machine. I can do that. I can do that. But the bone scan, you're in the machine for like, could be an hour. Now, I did see one video where it was like your body was in the machine, but the head part was out of the machine. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed that that's what's happening tomorrow. I don't know. But I did do things today to prepare for tomorrow. So one was I filled out the questionnaire. So when I get there, I don't have to worry about it. I did everything online. They did ask the question, are you claustrophobic? If I could have checked that thing twice, right? I said, yes, heck yes, double yes. Yes, I am. But you know what else I did today? I drove the hour to the center today. And I'll tell you why. I'm already nervous about the test and I'm nervous about traveling there. So I was like, let me take one of my stressors off, and that's just getting down there. And I got to tell you guys, I'm so glad I took the hour and drove out there because there were some parts of the drive where I had to go through neighborhoods where the ice is still not cleared. So the main roads are cleared, but there's still ice and snow piled up in the main neighborhoods. And remember, I'm leaving at like 7 o'clock in the morning to get there, or by 7:30 in the morning to get there for 8:30. So I am so glad I drove down there. And then once I got to the building and I saw where I had to park and everything, I felt fine. I was like, okay, so my anxiety about driving there is not there because I know what I need to do and I know how to get there. Um, it's now just my anxiety about taking the actual test and not even about boat tests. I got rid of my anxiety about the CAT scan. You're really only in the machine for 5 minutes. But the other one, the bone scan, I'm having a lot of anxiety with. For anybody watching my video, if you have had a bone scan and you want to tell me about your experience or what they do to make you feel comfortable, please, please, please drop it in the comments. I could do with your help from now until 7 o'clock in the morning. I will be reading these comments, okay? So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I have to do my scans tomorrow. And then next week I meet with the doctor and then we get to know what treatment options are available for me. At this point, I'm just staying positive, trying to like look on the upside of things. That's why it's like when I did my vlogs yesterday about these people, these grown people that are trolling me and trying to drag me and bring drama to my life. It's like I'm just ignoring them. My ignore game is on heavy right now because it's like I don't know what is wrong with you that you would feel the need to bring pain to other people, but it is what it is. There are these people out here, and I just had to like let that go. I watched a video on it's called Hard Conversations or Tonight's Conversation with the panel. They have like a panel of people and they go around the US and they talk about love and relationships. And something was said. Now, I'm not a religious person, but there is this lady on the tonight's conversation panel. I believe her name is Kitty. I'm not sure, but she is a religious person. She prays, she goes to church, she reads her Bible. I just love her energy. I'm a healer, so I can tell people's energies, and she has a fantastic energy. Kitty, if you're out there, you're great. You're fabulous. And they had this lady who came up. This is a side story, by the way. They had this lady that came up and she was saying that she's sleeping with a married man. And I don't know, why does it feel so good to sleep with this married man? So everybody in the panel immediately looked at Kitty, right? Like, Kitty, you got this. And Kitty was just like, she paused. And then she said something that, even though I'm not a religious person, it just, as a healer, I pay attention to the cues, the energy cues. So this is how I know that Kitty is onto something because she said, it feels good to you because you have a Jezebel spirit. Now I know about Jezebel. Jezebel was a prostitute in the Bible that, liked to take other people's men and stuff like that. But it made me realize that some people just have spirits on them. Negative, low hanging, demonized spirits on them, where it brings them pleasure to bring other people down. And once I made that correlation in my head, I was like, I stand in the light and truth of God, right? So there is nothing of a lower nature that could ever touch me or ever take me off my pedestal because God put me there and I'm staying right there, right? And also, too, it made sense why I started moving away from certain people because it's like I couldn't explain it. We have a saying in my country, in Guyana, where it says, my spirit not take 'em. Like my spirit don't take that person, meaning something about that person, it just don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? And I've been noticing that about a lot of people. There's a lot of lovely people, you know, nice, but for whatever reason, my spirit just don't take them. And now I'm beginning to realize this thing about spirit. So I think I'm going to be making a series on here talking about the other side, spirits, ghosts, goblins, whatever the case may be. But that's just a side story to this. Why I'm mentioning it, why I'm mentioning it is because I feel like as you're battling something like a health scare, as you're battling a diagnosis, it is so important to keep your energy high and to keep your frequency high. And you cannot let anybody take you off of your high flying disc, as Abraham Hicks would call it, your high flying, momentum. So even though there's